So if I like, because it's all has to do with energy. If I asked you three things that everyone should be doing in order to keep some sort of balance in their energetic field and, to kind of make sure they're not having too much negative energy going on around, what would you say?
Hmm. Well, the first thing to do is to spend time in nature, whether it be sitting in the park, on a beach, hugging a tree, spending time in the forest, just sitting in the garden, right? Earthing, grounding, spending 20 minutes walking barefoot on the ground, on the earth to absorb the earth's electrons. That's very healing. So spending time in nature would be my first go-to. And then my second go-to is meditation. And I know some people find it difficult to meditate, but you don't have to meditate in silence. You can meditate with binaural beats on. You can do a guided meditation. You can wash the dishes and be in a meditation. You can do a walking meditation. It doesn't have to be sit there in silence and empty your mind. And the third thing is get rid of toxic people and situations in your life.
Those are all pretty powerful. I definitely believe in everything you just said. I spend daily time in nature, going on hikes and getting out. And I've used the same advice. What's really intriguing about what you said too is the clearing of toxic people. I think that a lot of us have had a challenging 2020 and have decided not to continue some relationships in 2021, not bringing those things in and continuing the stress because there's already enough external stress. But I know that it takes conditioning new patterns because, there has been value in those relationships and it's hard to let go. And so there can be a lot of grief and things around that. Is there any advice that you have around, managing grief and loss?
Well, it's a process, but something that I recommend to my clients and students is to write down a requirement list. What do you require from your friends? You want to focus on the positive, not the negative. So you wouldn't say, I don't want a lying, cheating, backstabbing, jealous friend. You wouldn't say that. You would say, I require that my friends are kind and supportive and generous and loving, and they accept me for who I am, and they love me unconditionally, right? So it's really important to write down a requirement list, because when you write down a requirement list, you are increasing the probability and possibility of it happening. Also, when someone comes into your life, you know instantly, immediately, this person does or does not fulfill my requirements, right? And then to do the grief, sometimes we attract people in our lives to hold us back. So if you have a lot of toxic people in your life, how have you called in those people to hold you back, to keep you invisible, to keep you small? So you have to take responsibility for attracting the people that you've attracted, right? And then the other thing is just sit with the idea. How does it feel for me in my body when this person is in my life? Notice the tension, notice the emotions, anxiety, fear, frustration. And then sit with the idea, how does it feel to not have this person in my life? Is there an expansion in my cells? Did the tension immediately leave? Do I feel at peace? Do I feel harmonious?